Welcome back to Wealth Mentor Pro. Imagine this. Every month, money slips through your fingers like sand, disappearing before you even realize where it went. But what if you could stop that leak? What if you could save 30% of your expenses without feeling like you're punishing yourself? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I pulled this off, step by step, with real-life examples and practical hacks that anyone can use. And here's the cliffhanger. Later in this video, I'll share the single most unexpected saving lever that completely changed the game for me. And it's probably not what you think. When people hear cutting expenses by 30%, they imagine living in constant restriction, like chains around their lifestyle. But the truth is, saving money doesn't have to feel like drowning. It can feel like climbing a mountain. Tough at first, but every step gives you more freedom, more air, and a better view. And once you get into the rhythm, it starts to feel like leveling up in a game. Each hack you use is like unlocking a new skill. Each euro you save like gaining experience points. I want to take you into the story of how I started. A year ago, my spending habits were out of control. I wasn't going on crazy shopping sprees, but it was the small daily leaks that added up. Coffee runs, takeout, unused subscriptions, the kind of invisible expenses that drain you slowly like a game character losing health points without even noticing. Research shows that people underestimate their small expenses by as much as 40%. That's why when I finally looked at my numbers, I felt like I'd been walking blindfolded. So I set myself a challenge. Reduce my monthly expenses by 30%. Not by luck, not by starving myself of joy, but by using strategy. And let me tell you, this journey taught me more about money psychology than any book I've ever read. Because saving is not just about math, it's about mindset, emotion, and habits. The first lever I pulled was subscriptions. It sounds simple, but it was like facing the first boss in a video game. I sat down, opened my bank statement, and started circling every recurring charge. Gym memberships I barely used, apps I forgot about, streaming platforms I only touched once a month. One by one, I canceled them. It felt painful, like cutting off small pleasures. But when I added up the numbers, I realized I had been spending nearly 150 euros a month on things that didn't bring me value. That's 1,800 euros a year, money slipping through my fingers for nothing. That moment was like the first power-up. I had taken back control, but canceling subscriptions wasn't enough. The second hack was groceries, the silent killer of every budget. Food costs feel essential, and they are, but the way we buy food often doubles the cost without us realizing. I used to shop without a plan, letting discounts or cravings decide. Studies show this leads to 25% more spending on average. So I flipped the script. I started meal planning like an athlete preparing for a marathon. One big shop per week, a clear list, and no extra runs, just to grab one thing. The result? I cut my grocery bill by 200 euros a month without feeling deprived. Instead of eating out 3 times a week, I cooked. And surprisingly, I didn't miss the restaurants. I felt proud, energized, and healthier. Later in this video, I'll share the sneaky trick I used to slash my utility bills. And it had nothing to do with switching providers. Stay with me because that one alone freed up another 100 euros a month. The third lever was transportation. I used to drive everywhere. It felt convenient, like armor against stress. But convenience is expensive. Fuel, parking, maintenance, they add up like hidden traps in the game. So I started mixing in public transport, biking short distances, even carpooling. At first, it felt like a downgrade, like losing points on the scoreboard, but within a month, I noticed not only was I saving 120 euros, but I also felt physically fitter and mentally lighter. What felt like sacrifice turned into empowerment. Here's the thing. Every saving move created a ripple effect. Canceling subscriptions gave me clarity. Cooking at home gave me health. Biking gave me energy. It wasn't just about the money, it was about momentum. Saving became addictive. Every euro kept was like a trophy, every percentage point closer to freedom. Now let's talk about the hack that shocked even me. Utilities. I always thought my bills were fixed, like chains I had no key for. But then I experimented. Instead of focusing on the provider, I changed my usage. I tracked my power-hungry devices, unplugged what wasn't essential, and optimized heating. Even something as small as lowering my thermostat by 1 degree saved me €25 a month. Washing clothes in cold water instead of hot saved another 15. These changes sound tiny, but combined, they cut my utility bill by 30%. Suddenly, the chain wasn't locked anymore. I had broken it myself. And now comes the most surprising result. By stacking all these moves, I didn't just hit 30% expense reduction. I actually went beyond it. My average monthly spending went from €2,000 to 1,350. That's €650 saved every month, almost €8,000 a year. Think about that. Without earning a single extra euro, I unlocked the equivalent of a side income. That's why I say saving is like finding hidden treasure in your own backyard. Research shows the top 1% think in terms of opportunity cost. They don't ask, can I afford this now? They ask, what could this money become if I invest it? And that's exactly how I started viewing every saved euro. Not as restriction, but as future fuel. Now, you might be thinking, doesn't this mean you're living like a monk? Number. And here's the mindset shift that changed everything. I didn't cut joy, I cut waste. I still enjoy life. I go out, I treat myself. But every purchase is intentional, and that makes the joy sweeter because it's not drowned out by guilt. Your wallet tells the truth about your habits, and when you align those habits with your goals, your wallet becomes your ally, not your enemy. Imagine debt as drowning. Every month, bills pull you under, leaving you gasping. But savings? Savings feel like breaking the surface, breathing fresh air, and realizing you can swim freely. That's the contrast I live with now, and that's what I want you to feel too. Before I wrap this up, let me circle back to that gaming metaphor. Saving 30% felt at first like facing an impossible final boss. But each hack, subscriptions, groceries, transportation, utilities, was like finding cheat codes. Once you use them, you can't go back to the old way. Because why would you play on hard mode when the smarter path is right in front of you? And here's the best part. The story isn't over. Because in my next video, I'll show you exactly how I use those saved €650 a month, not just to sit in a bank account, but to start investing, turning savings into wealth. That's where the game changes from surviving to thriving. So remember, Wealth Mentor Pro is not just about numbers, it's about unlocking freedom. Your wallet tells the truth about your habits, and every habit you reset is a step closer to a life where money works for you, not against you.